Hello, Central Florida residents. With real estate prices stabilizing here in Central Florida for the past year or so and dropping in many instances, I'm starting to hear again about short sales. Remember that term? Well, what are short sales? I'm going to take just a couple of minutes today to explain to you what these are, because it's been quite a while since they were around. Hi, I'm realtor and real estate attorney David Dowell, and I've worked with short sales for many years as both a realtor and as a real estate attorney. They haven't been common for the past several years, as I said, but they're starting to come back. We're starting to see those in listings, right? So if you're thinking of buying or selling a home, you need to understand what short sales are. For buyers, this means it can be a great deal on a home. For sellers, it could mean a great opportunity to finally be able to sell your home. So first, let's start with a basic rule of real estate closings. You see, when a house is sold, the title company has to pay off all of the liens before the title can transfer to the buyer and before the sellers get their proceeds, right? Get their money. So, as an example, let's say a house sells for $400,000 and there's still a mortgage on it of maybe $350,000. Okay, then the title company at closing has to pay off that $350,000 mortgage. That leaves $50,000 of proceeds that would be paid to the seller. Now, of course, there's other types of liens too and expenses. But the bottom line that I'm trying to explain is that any kind of liens or expenses have to always be paid off so that the buyer gets good title. Okay. But what happens if there's no equity in the property? Meaning all the liens combined are greater than the house value. You owe more than it's worth. This happens. This can happen in times where home prices are dropping. We saw it a lot 12, 13 years ago. Remember that? With the mortgage crisis. So let's go back to our example of your $400,000 house with a $350,000 mortgage. Let's say you decide not to sell right now. And let's say house prices keep dropping. Now, a few months later, your house, that $400,000 house, is now worth $340,000. But someone wants to buy it at that price. Well, remember our basic rule? The title company has to pay off all the liens in full before the transaction can close, because buyer is entitled to what we call good title. But now there's not enough money to do that, right? So at first glance, it sounds like you can't sell. Well, there's a special process you can go through where you negotiate with your lender to accept a smaller amount as payment in full. It's just in order to be able to sell your home. So let's say in our example, the lender agrees to take a smaller amount for the mortgage. Let's say instead of $350,000, you negotiate. You say, hey, Mr. Lender, I can sell this house, but I don't have enough to pay all of the liens on it. So can you accept a smaller amount? And let's say they accept $330,000. Well, now the sale can go through, because if you sell the house for $340,000 and your total liens are $330,000, title company has enough money to pay those off in full. This is called a short sale. It's a short sale because the lender pretty much receives an amount that's short of their original amount. But if they accept that deal, they'll put it in writing as an official contract. But you might ask, why would a lender do this? Why would a lender just say, okay, sure, I'll take $330,000 instead of $350,000? Well, it's quite simple. If a lender recognizes that a homeowner is in distress, maybe not paying the mortgage on time, and a good candidate to go into foreclosure, then the lender has an incentive to get as much money back as they can. If they have to foreclose later on, then that gets expensive, and they won't likely get as much money back through a foreclosure sale as they would a short sale. So they're going to try and work out the best deal they can to get back as much of their money as they can. And due to the nature of these, I mean, most short sales that are listed for sale, they're usually priced a little bit lower than a typical market value, similar to a house that's already in foreclosure. So if you're a buyer looking for a deal, you may want to ask about short sales that are available in your area. It's worth your time. Now, they can take a while to get processed, to get permission from the lender, but if you're not in a hurry to grab your house today, buy a new house, it's worth looking into. If you'd like to have a list of any and all short sales in your area here in Central Florida, county, city, zip code, or just like to learn a little bit more about the short sale process, please text me, call me, or email me at any time. I'll provide that list. I'll answer whatever questions you've got about short sales, and we'll see if it's something that may be of interest to you. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.